Welcome to Talking Politics. I am Paul Gable. I'm here with my good friend and co-host John Bond Sr. And today we are hosting Horry County Council Chairman Johnny Gardner. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. We're here with Horry County Council Chairman Johnny Gardner, and we thank you for joining us, Johnny.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
I know in your campaign you used the slogan "Public Safety Priority One Day One," and you seem to have come across on that with the budget that you came through with.
Well, yeah, we're glad to get that thing passed, and then we were able to get a little extra money for our first responders and also for our county employees.
And that's something we got to remember. It's all the county employees, not just public safety.
Yeah.
If I'm right, there was a study that was done. Our county employees were, even though we're one of the largest and one of the richest counties in the state, they were 7% behind the state average on pay. And that's why
morale was bad.
That's why we were losing them to.
Morale was bad.
Well, it was bad for.
Chris Eldridge was not giving the county employees what they do. There was a rub there. There was a kind of a fear of Eldridge, and anytime you have that, you always have a bad morale insofar as the county. So he clicked in on that, and that's his first priority. And he lived up to his campaign slogan.
Well, I had a lot of help. I tell you, once the election was over, that resonated so much that council themselves, before I even went over there, they started trying to come up with some ways to do that. And when we started working on the budget, we just continued to go there. You mentioned the study. I don't think anybody appreciated the regular employees, that their pay was not up to snuff compared with other similarly situated county governments of our size. So we were able to put that together for them. Morale was absolutely at an all-time low. I have been around
the police morale was way down.
And regular employees at the courthouse, people at the jail, everywhere I've gone since in the last 6 months, morale's up. Even before they got the raise, after they got the raise, the money was good, and they're glad to get it. But what they're more glad to get is some recognition, and they feel like that the government now cares for them.
Oh, absolutely, that's important.
Well, yeah, you had a bully. You had two bullies at the top. Lazarus and Eldridge were considered joined at the hip, and the county employees were nothing but pawns in their game. And getting rid of Eldridge was as big of a move as has been made.
But it was some fight, though.
Well, I mean, that's because they came up with a fictitious story.
I mean, when a new chairman takes over, he has the right to select his county administrator, and he had the right to do that. And they should have fell into lockstep with him, not to fight him.
I appreciate
that. Well, look, there is a group of I don't know what we could call them. Insiders, mafia, good old boys.
No, don't use that.
I don't care what you call.
You're not going to work with that mafia. I don't like that word.
Well,
use
whatever.
A different word.
Organized crime.
How about gangsters?
Good old boys. Whatever you want to call them.
Whatever you want.
They think they're entitled to run this county, and they were against Johnny getting elected because they had their boy in place, and then they wanted to keep access wide open to themselves by keeping Eldridge in place. So they come up with it. They created a fictitious story, which even included me. And it was so totally bogus. But it led to Eldridge's demise. And frankly, it should lead to a cleaning out of staff.
That should never have happened. They should have turned it over to Johnny Gardner. He won, and go from there. Not to fight him. He had an election. He won. He had the most votes. And therefore, he's now the titular head, basically, of the county. He's a chairman. So consequently, in that vein, everybody should have been in lockstep saying, okay, let's go. Where is the next step we have to go to? Where is the next step? And he said where the next step was, his first step is say, let's fix the problem that we have here in the county insofar as employees are concerned, which is vital.
You're absolutely right, 100% right, and it's unfortunate it took 4 months to get that accomplished because everybody saw that. There was not one person that did not see exactly what you just said, that morale was down, pay was down, things were down, and we just needed a new administrator, and it took 4 months to do that, and it's just crying shame that it did. We wasted all that time and all that money to get it done. And if you call South Carolina Association of Counties, the people in Columbia that give the direction to the county staff, county council, the chairman, they will tell you the most important relationship in a government run like Horry County, that's county council / administrator, that the most important relationship is between the chairman and the administrator. They got to be able to work together. They got to have a vision to move the county forward, not remain in the back, not go backwards, not remain status quo, move it forward.
And we had an administrator try to undercut you before you ever got in office. How was that relationship
ever going to go? The deal they cut with the administrator completely, I was opposed to that. It was just boggles my mind how much money they gave him to leave. I mean, come on.
That was crazy.
Your term was up. He didn't want to appoint you. You knew that. So why didn't you do the best thing and just exit? Get the money that they was owed, but not demand the money in which he demanded, and then they had a fight on that.
Oh, it was crazy.
To get him to go out.
That's because
of
there was a group on council.
Was a bad contract.
It was a horrible contract, and it was put together by the county attorney. It was a horrible contract. But over and above that, you had 6 members of council, and I called them the Deep Six, that didn't want to make that change. They should have fired him when they had the opportunity in March. They should have fired him and let him go to court for any money. But they cost the county $300,000.
That's government. You can't just appoint.
Now you're saying they should have done this and they should have done that, but that's government.
Look, let's face facts. The best way of doing it, and he's a negotiator, is to negotiate, and that's what they wanted to do. They didn't want to rush into something because they were fear that Eldridge was going to sue the county for millions of dollars. So they wanted to do it in a process, and he, as an attorney, recognized that, and he worked with them. So by working together, it's healthy, rather than point fingers and then he's going to sit there and having always 6 people opposing him. No, what he did is a brilliant thing, in my mind, a strategy that worked. You got rid of Eldridge. Of course, we didn't like the exit pay that he got. He got a golden parachute that nobody in the county would have. Look how much
Hopefully
money.
That will never, ever happen again.
Well,
that was all because that contract was drawn up years ago. We're going to get us a new county administrator, and we're not going to have that kind of contract.
And on that note, we're going to take our first break. We got to let our sponsors talk. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a server at Brothers Grill, and as a server here, I like to make sure everybody has amazing service and good fresh food every single day. We serve lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., our happy hours from 4 to 7, and we're located on 5900 North Kings Highway. Follow us on Facebook at Brothers Grill Myrtle Beach.
P. Reynolds by the Ocean is a restaurant and live performance space with an open jazz jam every Thursday at 6 p.m. Are you looking for something special, something new, something different on the Grand Strand? Great food, cool jazz. You'll find it only at P. Reynolds Jazz Supper Club, located at 1212 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. P. Reynolds by the Ocean, something special in Myrtle Beach.
Striving for excellence is what we all do. After 10,000 hours of practice and preparation, we become experts at our crafts. Our skills become a manifestation of our talents, and our service becomes sought after.
We are the professionals, taking care of the details. The Professionals, mobile detailing and car cleaning specialist. Taking pride in what we do, so you can take pride in what we do for you.
Hi, I'm Effie Baldwin, and I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Believing in a Better World. We are introducing Comedic Yoga to the Myrtle Beach area. Comedic Yoga, a therapeutic healing yoga system, is characterized by a series of geometrically progressive postures and controlled rule of 4 breathing. For more information about the Comedic Yoga system or to set an individual or group appointment, please call 843-712-4413.
Welcome back. We're in Myrtle Beach. We're being hosted by Tubia Wilkes in one of his buildings that is sitting empty right now, like we talked about last week. And we have Horry County Council Chairman Johnny Gardner. We're talking a bit about a campaign pledge that you made. There's another campaign pledge that you made, which you're trying to live up to, but you're finding is difficult to do again because you got a group that wants to fight every step of the way to keep the old structure in place, I guess, but that's transparency.
Transparency, that was a big thing in the campaign. That resonated with the citizens, and I believe that was part of why that the election turned out the way it did, that I was elected. I've tried from day one to be transparent in everything that we could do. That is hard to do, and I think that it's just a matter of educating council members and everybody else. We have a good council, by and large. Everybody's trying to do what they think is good for the citizens. But this transparency thing is new to them. It's one thing to talk about public safety and say, let's give some money to it and everything will be okay. When it comes to transparency, you've got to do some work. You got to roll up the sleeves, pull down the tie a little bit, and get in there and get to work for transparency.
It's like everything else. People won't like change.
It's crazy, isn't it? In a democracy in America, to expect the public officials to want to be open and transparent about what they do.
As far as transparent is concerned, how about what's going on today with respect to the vetting of a new administrator? That's going on today, presently. How is that going?
Well, we narrowed it down to 5 final candidates, and we scheduled it for interviews. And I wanted those interviews to be out in the public. And I got outvoted on that because it's changed, it's new. But let me tell you, we had the interviews done in executive session, and I wish that the public could have watched those interviews because nothing was asked and nothing was answered in that behind closed doors that couldn't have been done out in chambers for everybody to watch.
When they left your meeting, they went to the press and they told them exactly what their positions were.
Well,
so far that's just a glimpse of what went on. We don't know what went on.
Well, let me ask you this: in executive session, did any candidates stand out more than others? And I won't ask you specific names, but
I will tell you. Yes, I'll tell you. There were 2 candidates that were head and shoulders above the others, and that's what I started to say earlier. I wish y'all could have watched it. It was really, really informative and really good to see that these 2 candidates knew so much about county government, and in particular Horry County. Horry County is a unique county. We have to go by the laws that we have to go by, but we have some unique things happening in Horry County that you need to be studied up on. You need to have a good understanding. These 2 candidates did. It reminded me of an old story that I've heard about where the father was up in age and he was going to turn his business over to his 2 sons, and he gave it to the younger son. And the older son complained and he said, I'm the firstborn, I should get the business. And he said, I will show you why I'm giving it to the younger son. I want both of you to go down to the valley and talk to Mr. Jones and see if he has any horses for sale. Do you know this story?
I know this story.
I love this story.
I know,
so the older son comes back and says, Father, I've talked to Mr. Jones, and yes, sir, he has horses for sale. Okay, thank you very much. To the younger son, he says, what did you learn? He said, Father, Mr. Jones has horses for sale. These are the kind, these are the number, this is the price. But let me tell you something else. In 15 days, he's got a different horse that's coming. That horse is more suited to what we're doing. I've looked at the horses we have. We can last 15 days with what we've got. It's going to cost us a little bit more money to get this better horse. But that's the action we need to take. We'll move this company forward, and we won't be status quo. We won't be stuck in the past.
That's visionary.
That's visionary, and that's what we need, and that's what I saw from two of these candidates.
And that's exactly what Johnny Vaught didn't want you to see in a comparison to his candidate, and that's why he wanted to force it behind closed doors. And I don't care if you like that statement or not, it's the truth.
We're not going to pick on anyone. But anyway, did they take minutes?
It's my show. I'll pick on who I want to.
Did they take minutes in the meeting?
No, sir.
No minutes at all?
Minutes, not
so
in
then how does
session.
anybody know what's going on? Where's the clarity?
Well, in an executive session,
I understand,
There's never minutes in executive.
Yeah.
I understand that, but here is something different. He wanted to have it out in the open. They didn't. So the best thing is a compromise. Let's take minutes.
It would have been good to film it, and then after it was all said and done, say, look, here's no harm, no foul. This is something that would be good for the public.
Why couldn't that be suggested?
Because they didn't want it to be public, because their preferred candidate wouldn't look good.
I'd have to ask them.
It's new.
I'm asking him.
It would be a change. And like you said earlier, some people like familiarity. Some people like the warm and cuddly way it is or the way it was.
That's correct, yeah.
It's time to move forward.
They're accustomed to that.
It's time to... If we want to keep up with what's happening in the world, Horry County, one of the biggest counties, one of the biggest budgets, one of the biggest number of employees, we've got to do like the youngest son. We've got to have a vision, and we've got to move forward.
Well, how are you getting along now? What is your vision for the future?
Well, we've got a bunch of things that we need to do, and I was talking to some of the county council members the other day, and we've reached a consensus almost, if you will, that if we could get away from the side steps and almost like we can't get out of our own way. If we can get out of our own way, we can get back to governing. I still need to have a workshop on our 2040 plan. I still want to have a workshop on our employee manual. We can work through these things. Those are the things that we need to be doing. We ran on smart growth, smart land development, not no land development, not Wild West land development. And we still need to focus on that.
That's important.
That's what the 2040 plan is.
We need a master plan.
And we have that. It's sitting on my desk. We just got to have a workshop. And we can't do all that until we get these other things done. And we have lawsuits and crazy shenanigans going on. We've got to stop it.
But you're going step by step, I guess, right?
Step by step. We'll come together. Education, people will learn and move forward, and we'll work together.
How is Ride 3 going?
Well, hang on. On that, we got to take a break. We're down to our sponsors. You always want to talk when it's their time to talk. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Angelo Antonucci, and I'd like to welcome you to Angelo's Steak and Pasta. We are the home of the Grand Strand's finest all-you-can-eat Italian buffet and the greatest steaks in the universe. Our steaks are aged and cut here. We season them at the grill, and they are served on a cast iron skillet, always hot and sizzling. All of our entrees, as well as our buffet items, are made from scratch and come from authentic Italian family recipes with our unique twist. And remember, Angelo's is the home of the greatest steaks in the universe.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a server at Brothers Grill, and as a server here, I like to make sure everybody has amazing service and good fresh food every single day. We serve lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., our happy hours from 4 to 7, and we're located on 5900 North Kings Highway. Follow us on Facebook at Brothers Grill Myrtle Beach.
P. Reynolds by the Ocean is a restaurant and live performance space with an open jazz jam every Thursday at 6 p.m. Are you looking for something special, something new, something different on the Grand Strand? Great food, cool jazz. You'll find it only at P. Reynolds Jazz Supper Club, located at 1212 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. P. Reynolds by the Ocean, something special in Myrtle Beach.
Welcome back. We're here with Johnny Gardner, Chairman of Horry County Council. We've been talking about his first 6 months in office and some of the roadblocks that were thrown in his way that he had to climb over. But Now we have one more thing going on. We have a push from the former chairman. He wanted to make I-73 his signature project, and he was going to get the funding to move it forward. And the city of Myrtle Beach stepped in and slammed a lawsuit in the county. And where do we stand on all that business, Johnny?
I would just tell you what I've always said. I-73 is good for Horry County. I-73 is good for South Carolina. The problem with I-73 is funding. Who's going to pay for it? You know, if they want Horry County to pay for it, that's just not fair. But let me tell you who benefits the most from I-73. You know, Horry County, yes. South County, yes. But who gets the best benefit of I-73 was
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle
City
Beach.
of Myrtle
The city of Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
The city of Myrtle Beach would get the biggest bang for the buck. And they've been wanting it for 27 years now. And ironically, I-73, as far as I can tell, is dead. And the person that killed it is the city of Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, Harold Worley said it's dead.
Well,
Harold
and
Worley
I
said
think
you can't go any further. What they're doing now with
There's no funding.
there's just no
But
funding.
it's so silly that
We had an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't understand.
We had
this.
an opportunity to take these fees that we were collecting. I sent over a proposal to Myrtle Beach and other similarly situated cities, and
As the lawsuit is taken.
yeah. But anyway, I sent over a resolution, a compromise that would have given each municipality, and the county, would have given them more money. A rising tide lifts all boats.
That's
that we
true.
could have moved forward. That was rejected. And now Myrtle Beach, by their own admission, if they go forward with what they're trying to do, will get less money under their
They will.
plan
They will
than
get
they
less
will under
money.
my plan.
No, they will get less money because they're going to lose that half cents.
And more importantly, then they will get. And why would you want less money in this day and age when you're trying to build roads and make things better?
You
and do
have
the
to
things that we
examine
do?
the psyche of the people that did that.
Well,
I mean,
my psyche is for the betterment of my citizens.
Well, that's important. That should be underlined in this tape.
But what's
Underlined.
best for the county? What's best for the county? And Myrtle Beach is in the county of Horry. Okay, Horry is not in the city limits of Myrtle Beach. All right, we need to remember that. And we had a plan that would have lifted all the boats, and that plan has been shot down. And that's what Mr. Worley is talking about. Because we don't have this money, we're not going to be able to fund I-73. And Horry County is involved in this contract with SCDOT, where we're going to earmark $25 million per year. We don't have $25 million.
But how does that directly affect you by them taking that 1 cent sales tax? How does that directly affect the county?
Well,
Can you tell us?
what I can tell you is we'll have less money generated for the projects that we wanted to do. What we wanted to do, if we would have been able to do the plan that we proposed, we would have had a huge fund that would have lasted forever, that we could have fixed 501, we could have fixed 990, any of these roads that needed repaired, any of these roads that needed extended or widening, or any of the things that we needed, we could have done that. We could have had some money for...
But aren't they being selfish, the city? They're taking that away from you and
Some of
all
the money-
projects that can help insofar as alleviating the traffic and growing the county properly?
I can't disagree with you. I can't say it enough. If we'd have done what we wanted to do, Myrtle Beach would have been the biggest recipient.
That's exactly a positive note on your part.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, what have we got to ask ourselves? We got to ask ourselves, what's the best thing for the citizens of this county? And if I was on city council, what's the best thing for the citizens of the city? But I'm the chairman of Horry County Council. Myrtle Beach is in Horry County. What's the best thing for Horry County? And I think we all know the answer.
And see, that's the question that many of our elected politicians have never asked. 20 years ago, just 20 years ago, Doug Wendell was whipsawing the county council, the city council, and the state of government for the multi-county business park. It was what's best for me, okay? And he whipsawed them. We're getting whipsawed again. If they would just take one step back and answer that simple question, but they don't. We elect these people, and they don't represent us to a great extent.
Well, and if I have to make a decision on any issue, I'm going to make a decision in my mind what's best for the citizens of Horry County. I'm going to try to take care of my first responders. I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible in all things, and hopefully we'll have a better Horry County as a result of that.
You know, let me hit to the core of the problem, okay? As I see it. from what I understand, your campaign was funded in a way that you didn't take any of the special interests or the PAC money or any of that kind of stuff. After your campaign ended and you won, if I'm not mistaken, you got calls from some of the, what I call special interests and what have you, want to meet with you, help you pay off your campaign debt and what have you. And all that is buying influence. And you were fortunately in a position to say,
so let him help him.
no thanks, I don't need your money.
Well, look, that's not the way to do it.
That is the way to do it.
Isn't, though. He knows which money is good money and which is bad money. I trust him. So, you know, Johnny, one big problem that we really have here, we have all these feral cats running all over the place.
Oh, Lord have mercy. John, we haven't heard about cats in months. We don't need to go back into this.
Well, I thought they changed the pace somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny's real locked in on these issues.
Isn't the county's answer to this, you're going to put a bunch of cat food out within the city limits of Myrtle Beach and grow them on?
No. He's locked into something. I was just joking. I was just changing the pace.
That's a great
somewhat.
show.
Because he's so geared into something, so serious. I thought maybe.
But you hear what he's talking about. He's talking about what's best for the majority, not the minority.
What does that mean? Are you talking about cats or what? What are you talking about?
In cats, there's nothing good for
Well,
anybody.
he just made a very strong points.
Yes, he
poignantly, he picked out and chose what he wants to do. He's a visionary. He just told you. I just look at him and I know he's a visionary because he said what's best for Horry County. That means everybody in Horry County, from Little River all the way to Murrell's Inlet.
And that's what those who opposed him
I don't think they oppose him. I do not think. I think he worked on them.
Afraid of.
I don't think they oppose him. I think now they understand his style and they want to work with him. And you got to pat him on
John,
the back.
I can only hope you're right. But anyway,
Johnny,
we're going to give you the last word, John.
Good job, Johnny.
I've got it. I tell you, you know, when we're up on the stage, the dais, as they call it, you know, and there's 12 of us up there, there's 11 members from their special or their districts, and they're trying to do what's best for them. What I have tried to do up there, and this is not easy, is to let each person talk if they want to talk, let them tell what's important for what they want to do, and then get it all out there. That helps Horry County.
And that shows good leadership.
Well, we don't want to.
That's good leadership.
What I like to tell
getting everybody input.
Yeah, I represent the minority. That's the guy who maybe doesn't want to talk or hasn't had a chance to talk. I'm not going to make anybody talk, but I like it when everybody gets up there and they give their, even if their opinion is different than mine, I like to hear it. I like for all 11 people to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about.
That's the way democracy is supposed to work.
Well, I think the chairman's job, when we get out there, more importantly than anything, is to let everybody talk a fair amount of time, and none of this calling for the vote mess, you know, or that is.
Nobody's showboating.
Yeah, so we don't want all that.
And you have some showboats, but
well, you know, it should be Johnny Gardner visionary.
there you go. On that note, we will end. We'll thank you for joining us, John. I hope we weren't too hard on you.
No, thank you all for having me.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Thank you very, very much.
And we'll be back next week.
P. Reynolds by the Ocean is a restaurant and live performance space with an open jazz jam every Thursday at 6 p.m. Are you looking for something special, something new, something different on the Grand Strand? Great food, cool jazz. You'll find it only at P. Reynolds Jazz Supper Club, located at 1212 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. P. Reynolds by the Ocean, something special in Myrtle Beach.
Hi, I'm Angelo Antonucci, and I'd like to welcome you to Angelo's Steak and Pasta. We are the home of the Grand Strand's finest all-you-can-eat Italian buffet and the greatest steaks in the universe. Our steaks are aged and cut here, we season them at the grill, and they are served on a cast iron skillet, always hot and sizzling. All of our entrees as well as our buffet items are made from scratch and come from authentic Italian family recipes with our unique twist. And remember, Angelo's is the home of the greatest steaks in the universe.